right, everyone, welcome back into another props video. Going to be breaking down the top prop bets for the Week 0 slate in college football on Saturday. Let's go ahead and get into it. And let's start this video with probably the most popular player on the slate. That's going to be Rocco Becht here, the quarterback for Iowa State. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, I think the under is going to be a good bet. We'll talk about the reasons as to why basically right now. So obviously he lost two of his receivers, the two-star receivers drafted in the NFL draft. That's never a good thing. They have been replaced by, I would say, some pretty talented receivers. Very excited to see what they end up doing in this game. But you look at the matchup here as well. It is a matchup against KSU where he went for only 137 passing yards last year with a terrible completion percentage. He went 13 for 35 in that game. So not exactly liking him. Maybe if you agree with this bet, you can actually end up betting some of the overs for the running backs. Now, I don't know if we necessarily need to get there as well, but could be a spot that you think about getting to. Now, it is worth calling out, guys, that PrizePicks does have a free square for this game with Xavier Hutchinson. So if you guys have never signed up for PrizePicks before, make sure to do so. You guys can use the promo code, the number 9TO5. You guys will get $50 instantly when you play your first $5. So take advantage of that, guys. Great deal. And you guys can instantly get that free square for Xavier Hutchinson in that game as well. But one of the players I like the most in that game specifically is going to be looking at Jace Brown to get over his receiving yards of 53.5. It's kind of fluctuated a little bit here and there. Underdog has it at 55.5. PrizePicks has had it at 52.5. I think I'd be fine with it if it doesn't get above 55.5. If you look at this line, though, he was able to get the over 8 out of the 13 games of last year. He is still their top receiver like he was last year for them as well. So I think that ends up being a pretty good bet that we can get to there for Jace Brown. And it seems like a lot of people are agreeing this is actually a bet that has a flame bet on it. Don't necessarily love those. So a flame bet, if you guys are not someone that plays on PrizePicks frequently, that basically just means a lot of people are betting that specific bet. Now, I do want to talk about the Western Kentucky receivers. I'm kind of excited to see what Xavier Hutchinson, or sorry, was it the Houston Texans receiver, but Katie Hutchinson. I'm excited to see what he is going to do in this game. He is someone that is a holdover from the previous season. We always like to say, I didn't have a big season last year, but he is someone that, would most likely take the next step. This is a line in which you don't necessarily love to, take with it being a big jump in his first game. Maybe you'd want to go with Matthew Henry instead, who is someone that really had a good year at WIU last year. So he's a transfer, had a very good season, over 1,000 receiving yards in that season, 6 touchdowns as well. And then another bet that I don't mind is going to be with the Stanford running back, Micah Ford, to get over 45.5 rushing yards. He is someone that should be the lead back for them in this game. And if that does end up being true, I do expect him to get a pretty decent workload in this game. Again, these players where they're taking the next step from the previous season, obviously you're not going to like looking at the last 5 average, but I think we all know kind of at this point that doesn't really matter too much. Maybe you just want to end up going with his over 11.5 rush attempts instead. You could do that, but I think the over rush yards would actually be the way to go here. Now, a lot of people are going to be excited about Hawaii, as I am as well, guys. I don't mind betting on the receivers to get their over here. We look at Ashlock, who last year had a lot of targets, 108 targets in 11 games. He had a 22% target share, and this is a game that's supposed to be pass heavy. You look at the quarterback for Hawaii as well. His passing yards line is at 189.5, and a lot of people are trying to chase that over actually a decent amount there. So could be a bet that you think about. But I actually like the idea of attacking his pass catchers a little bit more. We got Nick here for Hawaii as well. 5.5 receptions. He's someone that also had a heavy target share as well, 20% last year. And so we could be playing either one of them or both of them. I think I'm fine playing both of them. Obviously, we could not stack and then with the quarterback because then the payout's going to be a little bit reduced. If you want to go with his over receiving yards, you could do that as well. That's the bet I'm preferred to as well. With college football, I kind of like attacking air yards a little bit more, whereas NFL receptions are much more predictable, so I tend to lean there. But I'm kind of fine with this bet as well. Then the last bet that I'm okay getting to, I don't love the fact that this line has risen up a decent amount, is going to be Bryson Donaldson to get this over here of 69.5 yards. So really not a bad bet. It was at like 64.5 to kind of start the week. So I don't necessarily love that one up the last 5. But if you look at his last 3 games, he did get the over 2 out of the last 3 games when he started to get a little bit more work for them as well. Was very impressive there. And so I'm kind of fine with kind of attacking that and attacking him to get a little bit more work here as well. And then real quickly, guys, we'll just pull up here the 9 to 5 PrizePicks optimizer as the lines currently sit. We're not really getting massive edges on really any of the bets too much. So we got Cam Pickett for under his receiving yards of 45.5. Not a terrible bet. The average sportsbook line would have that closer to 42.5. So a little bit of an interesting bet there. And then Avery Johnson to get under 1.5 passing touchdowns. That one has about a 53.8% chance to hit. So not a terrible line there. We'll say the projection data does have him closer to 1.85. So not terrible, but also not necessarily a bet that you need to go out of your way to target. Some prop line difference here, but nothing too much necessarily. Rocco Beck, if you guys want to bet on his overs for his... Yeah, this is Brian Donaldson as well, so it's bumped since I started recording this video. That's annoying. But Rocco Beck to get over his rush yards is a bet I think people are targeting on PrizePicks. If you want to bet that on Underdog. And then speaking of Underdog, guys, do want to call some lines that we are getting. So Dylan Edwards to get his over rush yards is a pretty big edge on Underdog right now, 71.5. The average sportsbook line has it closer to 80.5. So that is a very big edge there. That's the biggest edge that we'll probably get. I'm perfectly happy to target that one there on Underdog. So that's going to be the bet of the day for Underdog. Dylan Edwards for over 71.5 rush yards. And then we get into the bet of the day here for PrizePicks, guys. You can use this for Underdog as well. Just recapping all the bets that we just touched on. Again, I really wish that this bet here for Donaldson was still at 64.5. I'm still okay against that. If it rises anymore, I don't think it's going to be necessary to get to that as well. Jace Brown, a bet that I like. He's kind of done really well there for KSU, and then attacking the Hawaii receivers. This is the one I would want to get to the most, though, but doesn't really matter. They both have a high target share there as well. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Make sure to give a like and subscribe to the channel. Do appreciate that, guys. Going to be covering college football a decent amount this season. Week 0, we'll see how it goes. Appreciate you being here. Good luck, and as always, let's keep cashing.